Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to USFC 175. We're gonna get straight into the game right now. First matchup will be Pico against Block. We're gonna start with a bang today. North American players, elite veterans as well. Block being the most recent USFC champion before me. Nice, and the game capture should work just fine. Yeah, you guys can see it. Now I did switch around some audio settings for my videos with Rush, so I'm gonna quickly change that. There we are. Pico's already here. We're just waiting for Luck. I saw him in the chat as well. What's up with Luck? If Luck doesn't show up, we can always do the next fight over. That's Clemino against Abir. If Abir's not around, Clemino challenged me directly. He is a contender, so I will entertain him with that. He was the first to challenge me. Nobody else did, so that's a big if Abir doesn't show up right away. Otherwise, he will be spun using the wheel, just like everybody else. And I'll do that live. Where is Luck? There he is, alright. I'll get the name sorted now. And Pico will be starting on the left. And I'll make sure he has keyboard as well. Now, Kubel has been sneaking some updates into the test version. As far as I know, there's nothing that really changes the game. It's just the new character was revealed. He was not released, so unfortunately, we're going to have to wait. Off all the way. And this should be never. Don't know why these settings keep changing on me, but they do. Just making sure all that's good. Again, Pico left, Block right, Pico has keyboard, let's go. And yes, I will be switching sides. I know there were a bunch of people asking about that. I'm not changing that rule. It's the fairest to everybody. If the sides don't matter to you, then this rule really doesn't affect you. You just switch sides. If the sides do matter to you, you get a chance to play both sides. So it's fair to both sides of the argument that way. Pico of a brave choice there, going with Barabash. What? That's interesting. Okay, let's go. And Luck went with Samuel, which is a strange pick for him, but we'll see how that goes. Starting out with the exchange, Luck with some jabs, a snap there, chop there. Nice cut to the body, but no kill. Luck showering I'm sorry, that's Pico actually showering luck with attacks right now. Got a little confused. They don't usually pick these characters. Even Barabash, to be honest, is not often picked by luck, but if somebody were to pick Barabash, I would have expected luck to do it. Ooh. Tired there, and there's a thrust to the head there. Nice by Pico. Yep, that's the sides, Sion. I said Pico are on the left, so... Unless they didn't listen, in which case... maybe they have it wrong. Thunder Punch. My goodness, Pico just going bananas. Snap cut there by Luck. But Luck is behind. Nice sidestep. Just brutalizing Luck right now. Luck maybe should switch off. Amulet doesn't have That's why I think it's Pico. Pico does that a lot with every character he plays. But Luck has scored 2 flags. A sidestep. Trades with Sam there. Sam not always the best at trading, so no surprise. Sides now. The silence is odd. What? What do you mean I'm not in Discord? I've been in the comms this whole time. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened. I was in this channel the whole time. Alright, let's go. Pico sticking with Calc. Jesus, the Barabash pick. These players are really confusing me. You never play Bara. I did tell you though. I said that Pico was on the left. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the players obviously didn't listen, so it's okay. I'm just gonna switch it back. These things happen, it's not the first time. Let's go. I was in voice chat. I literally clicked it and then entered the channel. I don't know what. It obviously kicked me out at some point. It's a Discord bug that sometimes happens. Anyway. Let's ignore the Discord bug for now. It's a known bug, guys. That's all that happened. Yeah, Calc has a lot of reach, so sometimes Bar can be kept away. Typically, he has an easier time in this matchup, I would say. But Pico's Calc in particular is very tricky. So it might typically be the case that Calc loses, but in the right hands, I do think Calc will that shot. That sidestep, though, really crucial tool against those stabs, I would say. Sidestep by luck. Down to the wire this time around. Nice. Pico off the chop, beating Barbash to the punch. Big cut by Pico. Goes low. Thunder punch fainted. Stab. But it was a little bit too slow. Being so close to Lux Barbash that a cut was waiting for him. And beat him to the punch. Thunder punch is actually a pretty dangerous move for Calc. But a move that one can easily overcommit to and be punished as well. Still a good choice and a nice move to feint with as well, because Pico does have to address that threat. He can't completely ignore it. Upcut eventually does find an angle. Nice. Getting the opening in that basket there. There is a slight opening where the wrist goes in where you can still land a hit potentially. Because you gotta put that hand inside the basket somehow. There has to be a gap somewhere, so. The slight angle opened up was enough. Plus Pico might have been trying something which makes it easier to hit the hand. Now we got Jan against Marie as Luck is looking to blitz Pico here. Nice hit. Dash him with Marie, then a triangle. Does get a hit, but Jan's HP holds here. That is something that he does have over Marie, actually. Is more health. Might be part of the reason Luck picked Jan, combined with the thrusting game. Thrust 10. Luck going with the Y thrust. Nice idea, but Pico was able to get back in time. Dashes in with the thrust, forcing it in there. Nice trade of cuts there. Nice cut to the head. Nice cut to the body. Ooh, snap cut doesn't quite land as Pico tries to maintain distance. The tired thrust does miss. It's not a very good attack for Marie when she's tired, which doesn't happen terribly often. Usually she's either dead or she just doesn't get tired. And Luck is playing this a little bit more aggressively, perhaps, than a lot of Jans would play this, but that is Luck's fighting style. It's not that he's doing it wrong, per se, it's just a different way of doing it. If it does work, Marie will collapse under the pressure, so that's Luck's idea behind that. The key is just to watch your measure and to make sure you don't let Marie punish you too much. The corkscrew is actually an underrated move in this matchup. Luck misses there. Luck tries to force the chop in there. Doesn't quite get a hit because he was too close. And now that leg hit was pretty nasty by Pico. Yeah, Luck trying to force his way in all the same. He does have to close in at some point, whether that's because Pico overextends or because he himself closes in. But yeah, having that leg taken out more or less made it much more difficult. That was really good by Pico. Forcing the exchange, but keeping distance while he does so. Now Luck is trying to return the favor here by closing the distance, but Pico with a sidestep. Luck a little bit too linear, I would say. You gotta watch those sidesteps. Going for a thrust there, but Pico beat him to the punch. There we go. Cut to the head, though. As soon as it gets a little bit messy, it is in Luck's favor. Chop. This time the hand protection stopped it. That was nice by Pico. Perfect triangle. Luck having to watch his stamina. That's something Marie doesn't really have to worry about in this matchup. Although we did see her get tired once. For the most part, that was because of damage, not her actual stamina pool going down. Chop though. Pico also moves a lot with Marie. He does a lot of cancels that does burn quite a bit of stamina. Luck is looking to close this fight out still, despite being down flags, but it's very possible for that to happen. Just cannot allow Pico to punish him, but there we go. The triangle, I believe that was, does land. Pico scoring his first. But it was a very disputed one. Pico trying to prove that Marie is indeed the best rapier. Does go of Zera. Yan again by Luck. Luck is a very good Yan player as well. A lot of people might not be aware. And there's already a point for Luck. Luck is also the fastest player on the server, I would say, as far as reaction time and speed of inputs. Even Pico, as fast as he is with the cancel, so I do think he's a little bit outsped by Luck's reaction time, but this is making for a very interesting fight all the same. Missed by both there, but the stab eventually does connect. That was nice by Luck. Very lethal move that Yan has. Some would say broken, because you can cancel it so easily. But pretty much every character has a move that is questionable, so it is what it is. You gotta use what you have. Luck is tired. That's why people call Yan the best rapier, by the way. His stab game is actually really good. But his cutting game, it has to be said, is also really strong. That's why he's a really good jack-of-all-trades character. Corkscrew just forces that in there. It did look weird, but he did indeed connect it, so... Exchange, nicely done by both. There we go. There's a hit to the head. Double. By both. Pico trying to control space and claim it from Luck. Big cuts. Luck now actually down on stamina. It is a problem that Yan can have. But Luck dashes in anyway a little bit. Trying to save something. Pico crashing through the guard, but Luck is keeping good distance. It's not actually harming him yet, but he does have to watch that hand. Very tricky Zera gameplay. But Luck goes forward with the push. It's an exchange. Back Y. Nobody got hit. Pico did a good job recovering from the push, but there's still a hit by Luck. And Luck is still trying to bait him out a little bit in the sidestep, which Zera does struggle to track, and that is a double. That's how Pico rolls. He just switches characters when he wants to, even if it's working out. Very rare, actually, that he does not switch characters. That's why I was surprised earlier. Attack wise by Pico. Push by Luck. I don't know what happened there. Zera's head is made of iron. There is no smuggled armor here. I can't explain that one. There's no cheating going on. But Luck still got it. So can't be too unhappy about that. That's just the game being weird. Nice. Okay. Pico getting a flag back. Thrust down low, nice by Luck. Zera really hates attacks down low like that go for the wrist, and then the corkscrew does force a trade in the end. Nicely done by Luck. The corkscrew is a move that he spent a lot of time mastering back in the day, so no surprise. He's still throwing it, even though it is uncancelable now. It is still a good move. Okay, Clemino against Abir. If Abir does not show up quickly, Clemino needs to fight right away and said he'll fight me, so that's what we will do. Abir is here actually first, which is surprising, but it's probably a good thing. We'll leave the matchup against me up to, well, it's not completely randomness. It's also down to like how the contenders do. Reminder that Abir is also a contender, so the match before us here is actually very important in determining what happens. Clemino will take the left side, Abir will take the right side. Yeah, go ahead. You have keyboard now. Alright, Yazuk against Barabash. A very fair matchup. Can go either way. Both are really fast cutters. Barabash a little bit more explosive, but Yazuk actually very subtle and tight with his guard. So they both have advantages and disadvantages on each other. That balances out nicely. And Yazuk actually, his sidestep game, it has to be said, while it might not be as explosive, it is rather underrated. Bit of a trade there. You can see their speed is pretty much equal all the time as far as the cutting goes. But Abir of a longer range snap cut than what Clemino was doing results in it. Abir is an upcoming prospect, a really good Barabash player. Clemino is also an upcoming prospect with Saber. He plays a lot of Saber characters, so this matchup is quite fitting. And I believe one of these two gentlemen challenged the other. That's why they're fighting. I was going to randomize that, but there were a lot of challenges today, which is so good. Doubles up the cut there. Abir being really aggressive. There's a hit to the head. Sidestep to the wrist there. Nice by Abir. Barabash performing well today so far in general. Clemino really has to watch his spacing there. He does win the trade due to the hit to the head. Abir trying to sidestep. But Clemino keeps his guard up as you should. That is Yaz's asset in this matchup is his guard and his ability to punish really quickly when Barabash or any other character hits the parry. If you're trying to go low, that's actually a great idea. And it ends up working out there. Nice mix-up. That seems to be deciding it right now. You're just a little bit more tricky and aggressive in taking initiative, and that was close, but Clemino does get the double, does manage to hit Abir right back. Chop, nice pressure by Abir. And the sidesteps. Snap cut to the head as Abir tries to dash in. Maybe he wanted the Thunder Punch, but it was way too slow. Snap cut by Abir. Nice mixing up the timing by both. And exchange. Abir trying to take that hand with the upcut. Clemino is ready. Clemino keeping distance now, using that guard. Backs up there. Abir forces that snap cut in as Clemino got too close. And there's the Thunder Punch, but Abir threw that away a little bit. I get that he was going for the kill, but in the end it was a double as he got hit right in the noggin. Back Y there, good snap cut. Left foot forward stands, but then he switches. Probably smart. There's a hit to the head. Abir hit the shoulder, not the head. So it was a favorable trade. The head is the worst place to be hit in this game. X cut there does hit the arm, but that cut that Abir picked was powerful. So when they trade, Abir ends up taking it. But very close round to start us off. I don't think there was anything strange there, really. Thinking about switching characters, although Yazlik went pretty well. There's no pressure, obviously. He can switch to whoever he likes. If he feels another character would have done it. Yeah, the key is not to trade for sidestep, it's to shut down the sidestep. You snap cut Barabash's head before he moves. Isabella especially is very good at doing that, but any character, if it gets snap cut like Yazlik, can also do it. It's just like when Samuel does his X cut, you don't really want to trade with it, you want to punish it in some way. Hassan would just lose to Bara, I have to agree with Plebeian there. And there we go, the YY by Abir, but it is parried. It is also kind of a wacky move in more ways than one. It can fail pretty spectacularly, as well as succeed very spectacularly. There's rarely an in-between. That was a good exchange, but Clemino got it. That was a great grab earlier on too, especially against an overly aggressive Abir, taking advantage of that guard. Oh, the feint, but he got called out immediately. That feint is not particularly good. It gets past the guard, but it doesn't hit super hard. You're never gonna kill with it. So anybody can just call out the feint once they see the magic dust and kill you. There's a hit to the head. Clemino with the Samuel pick. It actually might have been a great pick here. Barabash can have a lot of issues with Samuel. And that's why I consider Barabash to be high A, is because there's other A tier characters who match him really well. We saw Yazlik match them really well. And Samuel actually can shut down Barabash. Meanwhile, Jan probably has a more decisive advantage against these types of characters. And he, I would say, has an advantage on Barabash too, so. And he's an S tier character, so that's kind of what separates them for me. Barabash is undeniably really good, but he's not S tier material. You can still use them and defeat S tier characters though. No question. In the right hand, you'll do just fine. But all other things being equal, Alexander will do better, and Isabella will do better as Leon. Yeah, Abir's Barbash is really something to behold. Excellent exchange between these two. Nobody got hit. Very crisp there, and that was actually a great opportunity to throw that feint as Abir dashed to the side, so he feinted right in the direction of Abir's movement, guaranteeing a hit, when Abir was not really presenting a threat. And there's a sidestep to the arm by Abir. This could be Hall of Fame worthy fight, actually, of how it's going. I don't know. We haven't put anything in the Hall of Fame in a while. I feel like there's some fights we neglected to put there. But this one, I think it has the potential. Retreat X cut as Abir sidesteps. Very smart tactic, using Samuel's wide cuts to catch the sidestep. Tries to tag the hand there from a distance. False edge cut, that's a feint. Goes low, nice spacing by Abir. Abir does the same thing and does get the hit. We're down to the wire. Abir looking to obviously finish this one and get 2-0, which was very decisive in such a close fight. But he has to lock in, back Y by both actually. As they both try to keep it safe, as they should, probably. Ooh, parries with the wind up the X cut. That is dangerous. Clemino's doing the feint out of measure of Abir's attack was nice, but both end up taking a hit in the end. Oh, and that's a back Y again. Abir making good use of those snap cuts, but they are not quite killing. It is one of Barbash's low damage moves, and it looks like Clemino got tired having taken 2 hits. Abir now up 2-0. There was still an opportunity for a comeback, though. I would say Samuel went even better for Clemino than... Beautiful exchanges between both of them. And excellent, I have to say, slipping that feint in is a really good display of skill. It is not easy to do. Most people write it off as a bad move because it doesn't trade, but there are specific moments where you can slip that in when your opponent's not prepared to defend, and it can get some beautiful hits. The game volume is loud. Is it loud for anyone else? How does the audio sound? I only have one person telling me it's bad. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just wondering what other people are hearing. Going low, then a cut to the head. Audio seems good. Okay. I don't know. Play with your audio a little bit then. Unfortunately, if I lower the game audio too much, it gets really quiet because Google coded it strangely, so there's not a whole lot to do about that. I could lower the audio of my headphone source as well, but... Beer is ahead now. Very fast-paced fight. Tell you what, I'll lower the game volume a little bit after this fight. It's a pretty easy fix. I won't even switch the source. I'll just, well, the volume of the source. I'll just, lower each of the volume sources in the game. That should fix it. raped. Regardless, I can't switch it now. I'll switch it later. Don't want to interrupt these guys. Ooh, nice hit. Sidestep attempt. And another sidestep, nice, hitting the hand as a beer moved in, creating an angle. Now Clamino has to lock in. He cannot afford to lose the YY, and it's a busted move that just gets in. Sometimes it fails horribly, but when it succeeds, it's very tough to block, even for some reason. I am not a fan of it. It really should be changed, but a beer needs to use every tool that he has, as should Sam. So Clamino has to be aware of that. Tries to go low. Good feint and hits the hand as a beer swings out of measure, but even if he didn't, to be honest, it would have still hit at that specific distance. That's the point of the feint. A beer, yeah, that's the key, back Y. If you can back Y, the YY, that is a great way to punish it. Nicely done by Clamino. The pressure is on as we are down to the last flag once more. The feint, and they clash swords. Oh, that was such a good try. But a beer somehow forces that blade in there. Excellent try, though. I think the feint was actually a really good idea, but a beer was a little bit quicker on the draw. Now we have Platypi against Sir Rabzig. I see you changed your name on Discord, by the way, Rabzig. If you want me to change your name, let me know. I can't ping this Rabzig for some reason. Here we go. While we wait for them, I'll sort out this audio. Yeah, that was cinema, and I think that's Hall of Fame. Don't let the score fool you. You did fantastic, Clamino. Tough opponent, but you basically were equal throughout. It just came down to little details. I'm gonna go like this. Okay, let's wait for the fighters here. Okay, Sir Ratzig is not here. I'll give him another minute or so. We'll still get you a fight, of course, Platypi. Don't worry about that. But we'll probably just skip over, unless you have to fight right away. In which case, we can just get you an opponent. Oh yes, Dauntless asked me if there was a spot available. If you are still listening, there is a spot against Info available, so you're fighting Info later. Yeah, so just be aware of that. You will be called upon later in the event. Could fight later? Nice. We'll just do another fight then. I know Sava has to fight soon, so we'll do that. And it'll be Sava against Captain Adler, actually. Now, Sava is actually a contender to fight me, that is the champion as well. So, Sava, it's very, very important that you do win this one, if you want a chance at doing that. Otherwise, you'll have to reset, get a win streak again, and then you'll get a chance later. Cool, they're both here. Yeah, the sound is disproportionately reduced, so this is just a test to see what the change in the settings does. You can barely hear anything now, it looks like. Hopefully the game is not so quiet when they actually clash swords. I don't know why Kubold coded it that way. I literally lowered it like 15% at most. Yeah, that's too quiet. We'll fix that. At least for me, it's too quiet. We'll fix that later. We'll just fight this one for now. There's a stab. Yeah, so it's either too quiet or too loud, I guess. We don't really have a choice between those two. Good stab by Sava Grouse. Samuel's a good pick against Connor, too. Seen a lot of Samuel players lately, which is nice. Stab to the arm. Bit of feinting going on. Trying to find angle, but doesn't quite get it there. Hit the shield. And there's a stab to the arm. Very lethal move for Connor. Goes low. Stab attempt. Another stab. I don't know. Some sounds are loud, others aren't. It's really weird. Anyone else hearing this, or is it louder on YouTube for some reason than it is for me? Nice. Goes back and forth there. Double. Rush attempt. Then there's a nice blade beat into the hit to the head. Audio is fine. I don't know why it's not fine for me. Maybe I just need to raise my volume. But only so much I can do that. Yeah, blame Kubold for this, not me. This weird audio coding that he does. Yeah, I'll just increase the volume on my end. That should fix it, but... Yeah, if it's fine for the viewers. It's just if some other sound in my browser is heard, it'll just deafen me a little bit, but that's fine. Feints going on. That's actually a good idea as well, to trick the auto guard. We'll leave the sound as it is. Ooh. Nice, goes to the leg right when Captain Adler overcommitted. That was good. Let's switch. Laszlo now for Captain Adler. Let's have a grouse sticking with Samuel. Well, he switched. You're not allowed to do that, by the way, if you pick a character. Yeah. It's one thing if you accidentally did it, but if you're very clearly committing to a pick, then you gotta go with it. Ooh, a trade of cuts there, Samuel. Kind of wins out there, though, I would say. That was a pretty powerful cut, and Laszlo's wound decals still look horrific. Oh, another hit, and a third hit, nice. Using Samuel's reach to his advantage there. Denying space from Captain Adler. That is the game plan for Sam. Take advantage of his guard, fight from range. Don't allow him in. Good, using the sidestep as a bit of a bait, and then reaching out with a longer range cut to punish the punish attempt. A feint there, but it's called out immediately. That was nice by Captain Adler. Yeah, you have to be careful feinting in measure, because your opponent sometimes can just call you out. The two stabs looked really weird, but then the follow-up lands. Nevertheless, they were hits. There's a hit by Sava. It's funny to call him Sava because he's not playing Sava, but nevertheless. Wide swing there, trying to bait something in. Doesn't end up going for a follow-up. Doesn't like what is happening. There's an upcut to the chin there. You saw Laszlo's chin move, actually, from being hit. That was nice. And Captain Adler moved into it. That cut is not very commonly thrown, but in this case it turned out to be exactly what was needed. Nice, parried with that slow cut, but that allowed him to find the timing to hit the arm. Laszlo's guard not proving terribly effective, as one would expect. It's not intended to be. The whole point is that he has a really good in and out game, but his guard is not terribly good. Push there. Captain Adler does get it. Big splash there by Sava. Nice parry at the thrust and then the follow-up lands. Now we're switching sides again. Isabella against Zera. Plebeian was hoping to see Sava's Zera in action. He will get his wish in the longsword duel. Captain Adler also does main Isabella, so I'm not surprised that Isabella came out. Perfect thrust to start off though for Sava. Big slash by Sava, but he ends up using it as a bait. But this time the recovery is too great, out of measure, and Captain Adler punishes it. Big cut there, but the back Y immediately punishes. Both fighters taking a little bit slow now. They know they can both punish each other really easily, which is more or less the case. The back Y, but Sava does not cancel the recovery or continue into something else, so Captain Adler had a clear window to hit. Sidestep, gets a nice angle out of it, even though the first hit didn't land for some reason. But the angle allowed for a follow-up. That was good by Sava. Good tenacity when the advantage presents itself. Sometimes you just gotta go for that third cut. Even if the second cut should hit and is not hitting for some reason, it can still really pay dividends to go for that cut afterwards when you have the dominant position. Thrust to the body. Captain Adler just walking into these stabs. He's not quite ready for them. Not ready to either beat them down or use long guard. But to be fair, if he long guards too much, he's opening himself up to nasty blade beats, so that's probably why he's not doing that. So it's really a matter of reading the opponent in time. Big slash, beats the blade down. This time he gets what I expected he would get, the blade beat into the cut from the side step. It's usually what happens when you land with that move. And then there's the holy stance. I think that was the stab this time, hence it got through the auto guard this time. And Slava Grouse were a pretty decisive win with Zera. I'm sure Plebeian's really happy to see that. Okay, Radzig is here. Let's get Platypi in as well. Okay, Platypi on the left, Sir Radzig on the right. Okay, you two select your sides and your characters, and then I'll just make sure you can actually fight, then I'll step away for a bit. If I'm not here in time to complete the round, just keep fighting. The names will be wrong, but it's not that big of a deal. See who they pick. Calc against Gideon, this one can go either way. Okay, with that, I'll be right back. Good luck to you both. Okay, I'm back. We have Marie against Isabella now. Sure, Rads are doing a great job. Clutch long guard there by Platypi keeps me safe, but the fight goes on. Nobody's been hit yet. Nice low cut. Set that up beautifully. The stab doesn't quite kill. A little too far to get the second lunge in. There was still a brilliant hit there, and that's a double and nasty one too. They both ran each other through. Ooh, a trade actually. A little too close for that lunge this time. Platypi punishes it well. The names are obviously reversed. Since I wasn't here to fix them, I'm not going to change them yet because it would ruin their rhythm. Trying to beat the blade there. Ooh, a grab attempt. Interesting. Or that might have been a misinput. Could have been punished, but obviously wasn't expected by Sir Radzig. Thrust attempts, trying to keep it tight, both of them, which is how you should play. And then there's a hit to the body by Platypi. If he does win this one, it'll be 1-1. Good thrust to the body there. Slips that in at just the right moment. Nasty. Triangle, they both trade. Low cut, oh, and there it is. Platypi closing the distance. One to one. Tarnowski now. Against Calc, wow. So Radzig did have some success for Calc earlier, so that does make some sense. We'll see if that translates against Tarnowski as well. Inquartada. Good exchange of cuts there. Nobody's been hit yet. Nice to see both fencers really respecting each other's tempo. We've seen that in a lot of these fights actually, and it's led to amazing exchanges. Really good skill on display today. That was a, wow, that was a loud, did you hear that? That was a loud, it rattled my ears a little bit. That particular sword collision was particularly loud. Hopefully not super distracting to the fencers. I think it was a blade beat is why it sounded so loud. Might be worth restarting it, maybe. Yeah, I might do that. The audio is really inconsistent. It's like I want to turn it up further, but I know there's some deafening noises, at least for, on my end, turn it up further, but it's really going to hurt my ears at some points. I'm guessing it's not so bad on YouTube, because you guys can just edit your own volume as you see fit, but... Ooh, again, yeah. Cut to the body. Good exchange of cuts. And a cut to the arm, that thrust presenting a target. Push attempt, but does take a hit. Now, Platypi getting a little bit tired. Good exchange again, though. Platypi needing to watch that stamina. The thrust to the body allows for Sir Radzer to get a kill. Big cuts by both, but there goes the hand. That cut packs a lot of power. Again, taking the hand right off. Going for a thrust, perfect counter though, deflection, and then a cut to the arm right when it was exposed. That was beautiful. Good exchange. Platypi have a masterclass in how to close in on your opponent with Tarnowski. Again, looking for those shots to the forearm. Thrust attempt is deflected. Very nice fight. And again, it's when you do that thrust, it looks like, but it's not a big deal. In Quartada. They just go massive blade beat. Exchange. Platypi trying to close the distance, but that back X is a great way to shut that down. Exchange. Going for a push of his own, does not quite land it. Bullfighter's doing a great job of maintaining proper distance. Probing each other. And both go for a sidestep, but the Inquartada has more reach. Platypi's got to be careful not to fight from too far away, otherwise it's entirely in Calp's advantage, because he does have the longer sword. The chop, nice deflection into a hit to the head. Inquartada. And there's another chop. Nicely done by Sir Radzer. And I will restart the game just to see, and I'll actually even reset the audio settings and go from there. Won't be long. I just want to see if I can fix that bug. Nevertheless, a nice win from Sir Radzer. He needs one more. That was also loud. What the hell? The audio in this game is so strange. I'm going to reset it completely, and then I'm just going to get rid of the music again, of course. Fight music should also go away. I'll try to equalize it. I don't know. We'll do something like that. Okay. Hassan Mir, possibly? Alright. They're doing a Hassan Mir, not an easy one to fight, it has to be said. Punch there, and there's a kill for Radzig starting us off. Cut by both of them out of measure, trying to get each other over. Back Y by Radzig. Good exchange here. Both staying at the edge of measure, if not slightly out of measure at times. Goes in for a punch. That was a powerful punch. They're rocking the head, and then there's a cut right after. Ooh, that crash through move, but you have to be very careful with that. I've said it before. He just missed it. Oh my gosh. That move has no tracking apparently. He just straight up missed. Oh man. Russ Mitchell was saying this character has a lot of potential. I'll post that part today, I hope. I know he said it with yesterday. I'm trying to kind of space them out a bit, see if that helps with the algorithm. But it will be today, sometime. But he has some spicy things to say about Hassan. I might make a short out of it as well. He thinks that Hassan is slept on, and he thinks that he could be the next great character because of his footwork. And I do agree that it is undeniably good, but I am skeptical. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I do think Hassan is the worst in the game. Nevertheless, when it's a Hassan mirror, everybody's got the same tools, so you can't really use that as an excuse if you lose. It's only your unfamiliarity of the character, really, that you can use as a crutch. Or an excuse. Goes low with the belly lunge there. He does have a belly lunge of his own. It's a very different one from how Bara does it. Side step to the head. Nice sidestep, hit to the head. Platypi looking to win this one. And make it 2-2, I believe. Double. Only thing good about him, probably, yeah. I really do think he's your worst version of Laszlo. But keep in mind, Russ is not like some pro player of the game or anything like that. He's a HEMA instructor, so he's looking at it from that lens, so. There's a hit. Radzig. Ooh. Radzig's low on stamina after that exchange. You gotta watch the whiffs, especially now. But the belly lunge does connect. That's pretty huge, I think. Now the stamina is equalized, if not in favor of Radzig. The HP certainly is. Double. Yeah, he's also kind of a worse version of Denise in some ways, too. Imagine you combined Denise and Laszlo, but somehow you made him a really bad character. That's basically what Hassan is. Although Hassan does have plenty of unique attacks that neither one has. Maybe plebeian, but that would have to be late if we do that. Got a bunch of fights to get through. Calc against Tarnowski again? Nice. That was a good matchup. Yeah, the problem is Denise has a better version of the right Y. How's the audio, by the way? It's not quite the same as how I had it set before, but it's a lot better on my ears, so... I don't know, for some reason when it's a bit higher, the audio is more consistent for some reason.
No, attack me,
At least the music volume stuff works, so you can lower it as much as you want and it's not going to cause problems, but for some reason the sound effects in particular are really bugged. A bit louder than me, but still good. Okay. Still radical. Yeah, not much I can do. Good exchange there. And there's a hit. Nicely placed by Sir Radzig. Very nice, Cal. Nice to see Cal getting more love lately. I think the idea that he's a bad character is propaganda. He's not top tier. I certainly won't argue that. But I really do think in the right hands, his cuts pack a punch, he's got good reach. His stabbing game is pretty good. Maybe not the best stabbing game there is, but he backs it up with a nice cutting game. So he's a good jack of all trades type of character. Just not terribly fast and not terribly good with his stamina. There's a nice hit by Platypi. Yeah, and I could reduce the volume. Radzig, by the way, nice win. The other thing is I could reduce the actual headphone source volume, but the thing is if I start messing with that, whenever I'm speaking to somebody on Discord, like if somebody's in comms with me, that will also reduce their volume relative to my volume. And so that creates a whole nother host of problems if I do that. So that would also be an option, but it seems like having it where it is now is the best way if I'm going to have people commentating as well, as often happens. So, by the way, if anybody does want to come into the commentator cabin, you're absolutely welcome, as usual. Okay, Oak against Max now. Try your personally. Yeah, I understand that. It's just for me when I have it down, it's like even more inconsistent. I switch the music off though because it's great music, but it's a whole nother thing you have to regulate as far as the audio. So for streams, I turn it off. If I'm playing the story, I obviously turn the music on because it's really nice. Or if I'm just playing alone and enjoying the game, then I'll have the music on. Kubel, for some reason, I don't know what it is. The sound used to be fine, but he seems really bad at regulating it and at regulating lighting as well. You'll notice on some of the maps, not the Void one actually isn't that bad for it, to Kubel's credit, but if you play the church map, for example, there's this strange spotlight that follows you around, and it looks really strange. It looks completely out of place in that type of a historical setting, especially in a church. Like, where is this modern spotlight coming from? It just lights everything up and looks terrible. I don't know why Kubel added that because nobody asked for it, but it is in the game. It completely wrecks the lighting on that map, especially because you want the lightning to take center stage, I think, as far as the lighting. The lighting around is supposed to be more like ambient, so. But the map now is completely ruined by the one spotlight. Yeah. And I would tell Kubel about it, but he's not gonna respond or even read it, so there's no winning with that one. Unfortunately. I might make a post on it on the team though, get eyeballs on it, maybe more people try contacting Kubel, eventually somebody sees it. And sends it to Kubel and he reads it, I don't know. That's the problem when he's unresponsive. Any small issue like this cannot get resolved. Or maybe he thinks it's fine because he just sticks with the default sounds, but I don't know. I would think for his YouTube videos he does have to play with the audio quite a bit, so. Unless, again, he's playing a different version from everybody else. In which case, he doesn't have to worry about any of that. I don't know. Regardless, back to the fight. Max against Oak. We actually saw this exact matchup earlier, too. Samuel against Connor. Oak's been playing quite a bit of Connor lately. But Connor doesn't have a great track record in tournaments, although he is on paper actually quite strong, especially defensively. He doesn't win a whole lot. Good stab to the body. I said Max is having a lot of trouble here, despite the fact that Sam usually does pretty well. Oak's experience is allowing him to create opportunities that perhaps a more experienced Samuel might not allow. I think, and when I say experienced, by the way, Max has played quite a few tournaments by now. He has played a seasoned player, and he's done really well, but I would imagine this matchup is not a matchup that very often because we don't usually see that many Connors. Oak is looking to take the fight really quickly, but that leg cut is a really good choice. And there we go, Oak takes it. I don't think we're... Does Max able to switch sides, or are we just sticking with... Wait, he's on the right side, actually. I guess we're switching then, yeah. Interesting. I guess he got it sorted out. Cool, cool. We're switching then, as usual. Nice exchange. Goes low, but that snap cut beats into the punch. And there's the London, finishes it off. Nice offense by Oak. Yeah, we can talk about AI in Discord. I still stand by the fact that AI is nothing but slop, especially generative AI, which is the term people... the thing that people call AI. It really doesn't deserve the name, because it has no intelligence, and it is not capable of any sort of thought at all, let alone intelligence. It's nothing but swap. It even gets simple things wrong, too. It's crazy how many errors, elementary errors at that, it makes. You're down to join the commentary? Yeah, feel free to raise your hand in the channel if you want to join. And you would have to get in and see the parsec, so once you join, I can hook you up to the link, Sava, if you want to talk. Okay, there we go. Oak with a decisive win again. Max really struggling. The shield is quite a knowledge check, especially if you're unfamiliar. Nice, he's raising his hand. Invite you to speak. Just got accepted and it should let you in. Alright, welcome.
Yes, hello. Thank you.
Nice, you're coming through on OBS, that's good. Just use the same link It should be in USFC. I'll post it again if you don't see it.
Yes.
Cool, there you are.
Perfect.
Okay, Oak on the left, Max on the right. Same picks, that's pretty sensible. We've seen Samuel do pretty well against Connor. But Max is running into some problems against this really experienced generation. Body. It's a very nasty move. For those who aren't aware, we call that one the London. It's not called that in the game, but that's what we call it. Connor might have an issue if that name is Scottish, but it is what it is. Eve is from Britain, and he said we should call it the Glasgow because there's plenty of stabbings in Glasgow apparently too. Somebody hit the Windows key or Alt Tab or something. Try not to do that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. One of the better moves here, I would say. Yeah.
Again. Wow.
Now, setting that up consistently is going to be the challenge. It is a little bit slow. Yeah, no can try and leg void it or back off.
From what I've seen, Connor seems to be pretty linear in the way he fights.
Yeah, I would agree. He does have a couple side steps, but a lot of them are really wide. He swings really widely, and you don't really want to use them too much.
Right.
There is a trick, though. You can dash to the side, then stab really quickly with that London stab. Oak's not doing it here, but that could be a nasty way to find an opening. Ooh, yeah. His cuts are deceptively fast, too. You can see Max is often beaten to the punch, actually, with those hits to the head.
Nice.
Ooh, a little too far, but I love the idea. That's another option. Either go for the leg or go for the sword arm. That's something Max is very good at. He'll throw that wide slash off tempo and catch you in the arm. Happens to be particularly good against shield characters. Nice push though. I think he went for it again, but he was too close. Interrupted there.
This seems to be quite evenly matched.
Yeah, Max is doing a great job of adapting this time around.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. That's what you don't want though. If Connor locks your weapon up, you're just open to an attack. That's the nasty thing about Connor. Nice backdash. Oak was nearly hit there, I think. Backdash. Nice. And Oak does take it. What this means, by the way, is that Oak won his fight, and a beer won his fight as well. So we have two possible contenders for the champion title later. I'll do a spinner or something unless they want to decide amongst themselves who will challenge me. And whoever doesn't do so will just fight next week against the champion. Postal against Mechanics now. After that, Maestro will fight Plebeian. We'll do info against Dauntless. I know I saw Piper wanted to fight as well. We'll see about that. And then I'll fight the challenger. Just while we're here, I'll set up the wheel. I'll obviously spin the wheel live when the time comes. Unless they, again, decide amongst themselves. Okay, wheel is set up. And we have a postal. Just waiting for Mechanics now. Parsec link doesn't load. It might be a dead link. We can try this one. Sometimes that does happen. Back in the early days, they used to happen a lot. The links would just die randomly, and we'd have to send a new one. Maybe your whole browser. Some technical issues for Mechanics. We can skip this fight for a bit and do another one while you sort that out. If Apostle is okay with that, we'll just do Maestro against Plebeian now. Both Parsec and proxy sites don't load now. Everything else seemed to work. Alright, well, worst case scenario, we can try Steam later. But for now, we'll get these two in. As for the sides, Maestro on the left, Plebeian on the right. Maestro take the left. There you go.
Right. Both Zera. I will have a little bias. I want Plebeian to win. He's become my new mentor.
Nice.
Ooh.
Good retreat attack there to start off. Yeah, Plebeian often does that. He's taken many of the new players under his wing lately, so that's nice.
Yeah. In
Maestro.
one session, he taught me a lot of very important things that were really helpful.
Wow, but Maestro is putting on a nice show. I'm not a fan of that
Yeah.
skin, to be honest,
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
Yeah, he looks more like a bartender than a monk.
Yeah. Sidestep there. It's funny too, because Maestro sometimes points out when people are using dorky skins, but then he'll turn around and use the most dorky skin he can. So. Oh, another one.
Wow.
Maestro
Wow. Back to back.
He is a really good Zera player too, though, so no surprise he's giving Plebeian some problems, but I did not expect this. I expected him more back and forth as far as flags. There we go, Plebeian with one. Oh man. The hand is just popped right off there. One more needed. Low guard by Maestro. A little bit of a bait. Oh, but he got hit in the head.
Wow.
It's like he headbutted the sword and then that resulted in a head hit being counted. Little unfortunate. That was a decent idea by Plebeian, but still ended up eating a hit. Yazuk now. For Maestro. What's happening? Because you couldn't go hooded? You can go hooded if you want. Doesn't want to use. I see, okay. I still think the monk is a better skin, but oh well.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. Perfect usage of spacing there to hit the hand.
Yeah. Those ones are the most satisfying in my opinion, playing as Sarah.
Yeah.
Again, nice.
Good usage of the range and the power. In a way, it's a battle of opposites here. Zera has the power and the reach, but Yazuk has speed on his side. Less power, but more of a guard, I would say. His guard is a lot more power. Not so much if you swing at a measure like that, though. Your hand will be hit.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Excellent combination. Hitting the hand, taking it right off, but still hitting the head after. Upcut.
Nice.
More needed.
Wow,
it off.
nice.
Okay, I'm gonna switch the names again, then I'll be right back. I'll leave the commentary to you, Sava.
All right.
Won't be terribly long. As usual, if I'm away when you've done your round, just keep fighting.
Wow. Nice. Oh. And right off. A failed grab attempt that got punished. Wow, very nice. Looked sick. Amazing. Okay. Well, still match point for Zera. Plebeian might get the win for this round. He still does not. Almost. Another double. Will it be match point for Plebeian? It is. Maestro got the first flag in. I expect this is going to be a pretty patient match from both sides. Oh, it could have been very beautiful for Plebeian there. He ended getting punished. Wow, very powerful swing. Plebeian finally getting a flag back. Oh, There, Maestro gets another flag. Two more flags, and Maestro will win. Oh. I was just in range, or just in line. Nice. Little whiff in the neck. Plebeian getting tortured. Oh. There. Takes the win. A 1v1 Zera again.
And back. Looks like we're back to the Zera mirror and down to the wire.
Yes. The previous match, Maestro won.
Yep. Good exchange too. Ooh.
Wow. This time, Plebeian has the weird skin.
Oh really? Is this not plebeian on the right?
I don't think so. Maybe I mixed up.
Yeah, his Maestro is supposed to be plebeian.
Yeah, on the left is Plebeian.
Nice side step there. And a back Y by plebeian.
I did see a little bit of frame drop there, so they probably paused because of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, it would be Plebeian on the right.
Yeah.
I look back, I was mixed up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. Oh, the hand comes right off. Perfect by plebeian. This is a much more disputed fight. Mirroring what we've seen earlier, they both win fights.
Yeah.
But Zera is the character they're both the most famous for, so they want to win some prestige here. A trade. And I love the lull in the fighting as they both reassess a little bit, not wanting to get hit like that. Although that was a slight hit thanks to the sidestep. Blade beat.
So,
jank, but it was.
Maestro's main is also Zera.
Yeah, he plays some other characters as well, like we've seen, but Zera, I would say.
Okay. Then this is an extra interesting match, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's why he's been going ham, especially that first round. Plebeian was thrown off balance.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice feint. Both being patient. But Plebeian doubles up there, that was good. Breaking up the tempo there. Needs one more. Goes for a holy stance, but stops. Yeah, that was good.
Wow.
Nice.
There it is. GG's.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if mechanics can get Parsec to work. If not, we can try Steam as well. Okay, I'll give you keyboard mechanics. You should be in mechanics. I see you here. Apostle on the left, mechanics on the right. Mechanics going with 15.
Of course. Mechanics, indeed. With Tarnowski. Tarnowski, our Serbian drunken uncle.
Yeah. Apostle, on the other hand, he's a generalist. A lot of different Saber characters, so we might see him switch throughout the fight.
Right.
But Barabash is one character he does really like using.
Yeah. I've tried Barabash a few times since like a few days ago. I was kind of positively surprised, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, he's nice and straightforward, explosive movement, good cuts. He lacks a little bit in versatility in some ways just because his stab game isn't really there. Most of his stabs, quote unquote, are more like push cuts, but I think he has enough tools to counter thrusts that it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Tarnowski definitely has the power advantage here, so Bara wants to lean into his speed more to win this in his movement. Ooh. Quite an exchange. I'm surprised nobody got hit yet. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a double.
I'd especially expect that stab of Tarn to hit.
Yeah.
Normally up close, that one works quite well.
Nice chop though.
Nice.
And the back wide punish. Nice. Good bait. But they're both getting tired now, so they have to watch their stamina. Nice. So mechanics there needed to punish with a cut to the head, because he went with a B cut to the A cut. It's a great way for Bara to pressure you if you're flat-footed. Have to leg void it or hit to the head. Cut to the arm. Ooh.
Wow.
Just out of measure.
Yeah.
Nice. Doesn't get the kill, but Bara's tired. Yeah. Capitalizes on that advantage.
Wow. Mechanic's been getting a lot of hit marks.
Yeah. The Thunder Punch does connect there. That's a nasty move when it does connect, but a bit risky. Again, another move that's, it's not called the Thunder Punch in the game. I think it's called some boring name, but we gave it the name Thunder Punch because it looks so cinematic. And it used to be really powerful back in the day. Even more powerful than it is now. So that was good. Especially back in 2021, the Thunder Punch used to bypass guard really easily, and it would always one-shot kill. Other characters were pretty strong back then too, though. So like Barabash had his OP moves, and then Isabella had hers. Basically, the balancing philosophy back then was if everybody's OP, nobody's OP. So,
Right.
yeah, but it was early in development, so that type of thing's expected.
Hassan. Interesting.
No, attack me, slap!
Now, this is one matchup, believe it or not, that I have seen Hassan do well in. I still think Tarna's probably overall more powerful, especially against other characters, but Hassan can sometimes use his height to land hits to the head on Tarna that are more likely to kill. That stab was just ignored.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I actually really thought that I was going to definitely be a hit.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
I'm not sure if that was Tarnovsky's guard or just Hassan not being very good. But I expected it to land too, to be honest. Even still, even considering Hassan's problem.
Yeah.
I don't think there was an active parry. His blade was behind his back there. And it clearly hit the body.
Yeah, I'll try to clip it so we can look at it later.
Yeah. Nice. Cross cuts there, does get the kill. That's really what Apostle needs here, to find that window to punish Tarna and not make him miss. Oh, you see, this time it did the same thing and it landed, so interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, when Hassan gets hit, you can see his hit animation sometimes is brutal. you just get completely rocked, even if you survive. Nice. Possible could still win this and get 2-0 mechanics. Really have to respect that power ball. Yeah. 1-1.
Well, I do think it was great courage to choose Hassan.
For sure. But I don't think it'll be the pick here. The Barabash was good. Maybe he'll switch to someone else and try it out.
Maybe that's also a strategy to make it impossible for his opponent to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people do that.
Sam.
Nice hit. Samuel has the guard, Tarna has the power. I'd say Samuel has the master too on the cut. And Tarnowski's guard, it's actually not bad. It depends on the stance. In some cases, it actually is pretty good. Other cases, it does have some openings. When he stands with the left foot forward, he leans back more, and there's more of his body that's exposed. For his trouble, though, he does get more power and more range off of that stance.
Yeah, I also feel like his because maybe his slashes are so wide, it seems like his guard is stopping it, even though it's like a parry or a deflect. It's actually stopping the opponent's attack.
Yeah. Same spike and it's a double. Possible definitely trying to capitalize on his advantage. And you can see how versatile he is. He's doing great with Samuel now. And actually, I don't think he did terrible with Hassan. I think Hassan is just not good as a character in general.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice counter thrust. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, he just got beat to the punch there.
You don't see that often, a saber cutting someone's hands off, other than Tarnowski.
Yeah. Barabash and Laszlo do it a fair bit as well with their upcuts, but you gotta land them first.
Right.
And again,
There it is.
yeah, he tried to block low, but that low cut popped it right off. Okay, let's see. Mechanic still has a win under his belt. If he wins one more, it'll still look very possible for him to win.
Yeah, I think Jan is kind of Mechanic's second main.
Yeah. Oh, something happening. Okay, let's back off for a sec. Long guard if you guys are good to go. Awesome, alright. I think somebody just had a control error or something. But thankfully it's over. You can see Mechanic panicked a bit, and understandably so. If your opponent's walking at you like that, often they're trying to grab you or something, so you have to deal with it. Thankfully he recognized it and that was good in his part, good sportsmanship. Both respecting each other's tempo here. Blocks the Jan thrust that he has it scarred for you. Very, very good. Didn't even need long guard to stop that. Yeah. Nice, walking him down. Push was a bit of a mistake. He might have misinputted that.
Wow, nice.
Okay, Koala says, never mind about that fight. He's hopping on League. That's funny.
Ah.
Trolling Piper. We'll get you somebody, Piper. I think we'll do the champion fight before, though, if that's okay with you, Piper. We'll still get you somebody, the fight. I just want to get to the main event. And yeah, Mechanics is doing great with Jan.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be possibly match point for Jan over here, Mechanics.
Yeah. Jan is one of the strongest characters in the game. I would say a bit weaker than Dennis. Maybe a bit weaker than Isabella as well, but he can actually compete pretty well with Isabella as well. He's definitely in the S tier, I would say. So that was good.
Okay.
Very straightforward to play, good jack of all trades, really good stats, nice reach. Jan just has a bit of everything. Let's see it. Who are they gonna pick? Back to Barabash? I think that's sensible. Against Jan, okay. Nice. Goes in. Hostile is not blocking those cuts, which is a little unfortunate for him. He's low on stamina. The sidestep was a great try, but his opponent defended that. Nice interruption. That sidestep Y cut, it's not often used, but I would say it's very underrated. Ooh, in a trade. Yeah, very hard to sidestep that thrust. At best, you just get trade. At worst, you just get hit. That thrust that Jan uses comes in so fast. You cannot react to it, really. You have to read it in advance. Basically, as the Barabash player here, you have to be aware of those stabs and use the chop a lot from long guard. And Mechanics' game plan is pretty simple. He has the longer saber, so keeping range is typically a good idea. But Apostle does snag it there. He's a really good bar, so if anybody can make this matchup work, it's him. I would tend to say that Jan played perfectly, has the advantage. Not an unwinnable matchup, but a tough one. I'd say Mechanics tried to force that combo a bit too much. Apostle sort of waited him out and then split the cut in between. He's showing a lot more skill, I would say, with Barabash. He has Barabash and Jan have a lot of the same moves, so I'd say most of what Mechanics is doing is pretty familiar to Apostle. He's just waiting him out, then finding clean punishes. Y cut does actually land. But Apostle is still locked in. Yeah, the chop is pretty easily sidestepped. Good read. The sidestep is actually a good tool in this matchup. You just have to be very careful of those stabs. You basically have to be sure that Jan is going for a chop stab. And there we go. Flawless victory for Apostle of Barabash. Great showing. Okay, Dauntless against Info, it looks like. And unfortunately, Piper against Koala was not to be, but we'll get Piper a fight after the main event and after this one. But good game, guys.
GG's.
Saw Dauntless in the chat. I believe Info is around as well. Keyboard, yeah. I'll give you a keyboard, Dauntless, no problem. Okay, we'll wait for Info, and if Info doesn't come right away, that's fine. We can skip right to the wheel, see who's gonna fight me, and then go from there. That's perfectly fine by me as well. Okay, no Info. I think we'll just spin the wheel while we're waiting, and if Info doesn't show up, then we'll do the title fight. So for that, I will show my screen for transparency's sake. Get rid of the game capture. Just make it invisible. Guys should be able to see the spinner. We have a beer and Oak's names on the spinner. And just to ensure that it's random either way, but we're still gonna shuffle. Nothing is rigged here. The first spin will count. Info is here. We'll still do the spin, just so that people are aware of who's fighting. Shuffle it one more time, and we'll spin it. Whoever comes up will fight me. And whoever is not up will fight next week. Oak is fighting me. A beer, you'll have to wait until next USFC, but you do have a guaranteed title shot thanks to your win. So it will be Oak fighting me for the title. Brilliant. I'll just put Oak in here. Give Info keyboard. And Info will take the left, Dauntless will be on the right. Oak, be ready for next fight, by the way. Because you'll be fighting right after this. And Sava, if you don't mind, I'll have you do the announcement since I'm fighting as well. If you're still around, if not, I can do it too.
Okay. Announcements? What do you mean?
So when we fight, usually with the champion belt match, we announce both of the contenders before we do the fight. We touch swords just like the UFC. Introduce the fighters and then we commence.
Okay.
If you want, I'll have you do that. It makes a bit more sense since I'm also fighting.
Sure, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Dauntless with 2 flags. Interesting Marta pick, by the way. Info doesn't usually pick Marta. She's recently fallen in usage because Marie is a lot more popular lately. The buff that she got. Rocks there, but very messy as Dauntless just walks forward. Blade beat. Thrust to the face, nice by Info. But Info looking to be on the back foot for the most part so far. Nice grab.
Wow.
Very humiliating grab animation to be hit by that one.
Yeah.
Dauntless still ahead. I think this should be hard for Marta, because those fast cuts from Yaz's really blade, and also they hit the head really easily. Yaz's guard is such that he doesn't even have to long guard most of the time to block the stab. And there we go. And Yazuk is a pretty bad matchup into Marie as well, so Info might have some issues with that. Maybe that's what inspired the Marta pick, but I'm not sure. Marta again. This might be a little ill-advised, but I guess Info's trying Marta out. Wanting to change things up for Marie, but so far, not looking good. Dauntless going ham. Big cuts by both of them. Nice to the face though. There. Going in. Not quite getting the kill. Again to the face.
Wow. Marta doing better this time.
Yeah, Info's making some adjustments. Ooh, a cut. Not quite a headshot. I mean, it looked like a headshot, but I think the game considered that a shoulder shot. The hitboxes can be kind of funny sometimes. usually when that's a headshot that kills, so. Ooh, whipping out of measure. Both of them actually. Yazuk is tired and Marta as well. Marta has range though on this tired swing, so it's actually working out well. There's a whiff, but the bull protects the hands. So nice passive hand protection,
Oh.
but Dauntless gets it. Wow.
Wow.
Crazy. I've never seen an exchange of tired swings like that in a while. We'll just attack into the bush. Nice punish.
And they're tied up again.
Yep. Dauntless is keeping it very simple, but it works very well. Info is not able to cope with these fast cuts once Dauntless gets in her face. Cortada. Low this time. Nice jab, but no kill. Nice. This time hits the neck. Those side steps are really fearsome for Marta. It's a good way to get distance from your opponent too, because if you just back up linearly, Yazuk will catch up to you eventually. Oh, a grab.
Wow.
Exploiting the fact that Dauntless is more or less just moving forward, and grabbing is a good way to stop somebody who's doing that. Switch sides.
Same characters. Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
Nice. Info with her first kill this round. And wins the trade this time. Cut to the arm, but not quite enough. I don't know why Info is using Marta. That's a very good question.
Maybe honor. Info getting ahead. Oh wow. Nice.
Horizontal cut. And nice back wide.
Wow.
Info's making Marta work now. It was not looking so good at first, but her experience with the rapier in general, I think, is still helping her with Marta. Pushing the counter thrust though.
Moje.
Yeah, Dauntless has realized that he can stab as well. Nice. Still a bit behind, but it is looking doable now. I think a win here for either side is very important. Still keeping distance. Dauntless using long guard to close in. Doesn't quite find an opportunity. Those side steps make it very difficult.
Match point for Info for the second point.
Cut to the arm. No kill, but it's still chip damage. Long term, that's pretty good. Getting rid of stamina or winning a trade later. Oh, but this time it's a double. Have to be careful of cuts with the rapier though, because they don't hit for a lot of damage, and you're often giving up control at the center when you do throw a cut. Info fumbled it a little bit there. Maybe a grab.
Wow, I
would have
really
been a
did
bit better.
expect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Nice thrust there. Oh, just walked into that stab. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Your goal is to close in, but if you don't contest the center, the rapier has a free shot to your body.
Back to back.
Yeah, too many attacks out of measure from Dauntless. I think he's really struggling to come up with a way to close on Marta. Another double. That was a good try, but Info is already ready to stab, so. Back wide, but still got hit. Dauntless got close enough to secure it. Nice. Info getting slightly overconfident there, dashing into Dauntless's range. Sidestep to the arm. Nice. It looked like Dauntless had a window, but that back Y for Marta is always ready. Goes low. Back Y again, always a threat. Yeah, it's really the key of rapiers in general, what Sionth is saying. You want to get them to overextend a little bit. Sometimes play a little bit from range. You don't always want to just walk forward. That's what the rapier expects you to do, and so they'll take countermeasures against that. That is what Info essentially is doing after testing stuff out with Marta. She figured out how to do it. Gauntlet's turtling up a little bit, doesn't want to invite a stab in. Whoa. Long guard.
Match point for Info for the 3rd point and the win.
Yeah, Dauntless is playing really defensively here, not wanting to give up this point.
Oh yeah.
There we go, goes in eventually with that stab. That was a good choice of move. Don't want to play too defensively though, because the rapier does have range on you. If you sit in Martha's range for too long, you're essentially just giving her more opportunities. There's definitely a balance to be struck there. Nice cut by Info, but it proved to be an excellent bait. And Info takes it. Now it's just my fight against Oak now. Piper doesn't have an opponent, but if he is still around, we can still try and get him somebody. Let's move on to the main event for now, though. And Abir, as promised, you will have a guaranteed title shot against me next week. So don't worry about that you weren't picked. The champion belt fight for next week is all set up already. And Oak, if you have run into any issues on my host, we can absolutely switch hosts or we can rotate, whatever you want. It was fine, just let me know. Or if my host is fine, we can just do that.
Yeah, I could also be that host, and if it would not be all right. I've done Parsec with Oak multiple times, and there was excellent connection there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll leave that up to Oak then. Usually he does great on my host, actually. He doesn't mind it, so hopefully that remains the case.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I figured he'd use Connor. I'm gonna stick with my main for this one. Alright, we'll touch swords, and then I'll give it to Sava to announce.
Subu on the left, Oak on the right. The champion fight. Let's go.
Alright, fight clean, fight dirty, let's fight. I like it, you wanted to get straight to the action. It's good. Alright, I'll be quiet for most of this.
Nice stab there. Trying to be more defensive on Connor's side. We're on par again. Oh, over the shield. Oh, charges right into the slash. And Subu takes the lead again. Little snap cut there. Eventually, Oak takes the flag and they are on par again. Very evenly matched so far. Did not expect to see that. Well, I take back what I said. Subu takes the lead again. Nice sidestep there. Went around his stab. Will this be match point for Subu? First point. Wow. Very nice. Blocked by the shield and counterattacked immediately. And there it is. Subu still takes this match. Same characters again. On both sides. And they are both on par again. Okay, ended in a double. They stay in par. Looks like Subu's doing a lot of sidestepping. Which is working quite well. Another sidestep to the arm. I feel kind of bad for that specific arm. It's been hit so many times now. Little grapple. Oh. Again. Poor arm. Poor Connor arm. Match point for Subu. Help for a second point. Tried to catch him there again on that arm. Cuts his leg. Oh. Oh, and Connor still is able to stab him there. Very nice. Was able to block multiple attacks with that shield. Oh, right in the middle. Another one of those stabs. Very powerful. Wow. Oak kind of coming with a comeback. And he gets him on the same arm again. That's Subu's second point. There. Needs only one more and then the W will be for him. They pick the same characters again. On both sides. Is Connor's arm going to be the victim again? Oh, wow, that ended up really bad for Subu there. I expected that would be a free hit for Subu. Oh, there Connor goes back to back. Oak having 3 flags under him. Will he continue the streak? Yes, he will. 4 flags under him now. Oh. Streak is broken. Subu really attempting at getting that poor arm again. Oh, and instead gets his head. That was probably a tactic. Make him think he's going to go for his arm. Will they be on par again? Or will Oak take the W? It looks like they will be on par again soon. They will not. Maybe. Maybe they will. Match point for Oak. Then it will be 2-1 for Subu. Okay. Will Subu come with a comeback? And Oak takes the win. 2-1 right now for Subu. Again, same characters. Oak playing Connor and Subu playing Barabbas. And Subu does take the first flag. Very nice. Looks like Subu's playing much more intensely. Maybe that will work much better against Connor. Oh. Oh. Nice attempt from Oak. And his shield saves him. Oh, a very nice exchange there. Oh, that looks it. Will Oak come with a comeback? He is, after all, the Oaken shield. Two more flags for Subu, and he will stay the champion. They are on par again. Will Oakenlicks be the Oaken Shield? Who knows? Wow. Oakenlicks takes the W, and it is 2-2 now. This is a pretty intense fight. The next fight will judge whether Subu will stay the champion or Oakenlicks will beat him. It looks like both are being more careful, which is understandable. This round, this match will judge it all. A lot of doubles this match. Probably because they're matching each other's playstyle a bit more, which is more defensive and careful, because this match is so important. Probably. Another double. They are on par again. Oak's movement is heavily impaired, but he still is able to get this flag. Does it again. Back to back. Oh. His shield was only able to save him once in that exchange. And there it is. Subu perfectly out of range and was able to get that flag, and they're on par again. Subu takes the lead. And a double. I like the intense exchanges of this fight. Both of them are being quite a bit more careful, which is very understandable. A push attempt there that ended in a double. Wow, nice. Subu needs only one more flag. And then that will be it for both of them. Oh, and it does not end. Wow. Will Oak come back? Wow. Right when I said. Now this is going to be intense. The judge of all round. Both of them throwing attacks out of range to stay safe. You obviously do not want to make impulsive decisions in this round. both still being very careful. Subu attempts a sidestep, which results in a bunch of exchanges from both sides. None are hit, but Connor eventually takes the win. Oak takes the win.
GG.
3-2. GG's.
All right, so Oak is the new USFC champion. I think I have capped out at 11 wins total. Let me check. So
Congrats,
yes,
Oak.
yeah. So I met my old win streak of 11, which is really impressive, but Oak was able to end my streak. So yeah, that was an epic fight. Hands are still shaking. That was great.
I can understand that. I could see both of you guys were really defensive, and it was very intense.
Yeah, yeah, it was. A great usage of that sidestep too. I was really surprised. A lot of stuff that I thought was gonna land wasn't landing, so that was good. Yeah, exactly, but it worked, so what can I say? Did a great job. If Piper is still here, um, we can get him a fight, but otherwise I'm gonna end the stream with that. Okay, I'm gonna edit the fight card, give Oak the win, and the title as well on Discord.
Mechanics just asked, if Piper's here, can you put them against me? I want some kind of rewanch.
Yeah, rematch, he means. We can see
Oh.
about that. Okay, I'm gonna give him a ping. If he doesn't respond fairly soon, I think we'll just end it there. Yeah, it came down to the last flag too. You can't really ask for better in a champion belt fight.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really entertaining fight for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think Piper's around. All right, I'm not hearing anything from Piper. If he yells at me pretty soon after I end the stream, we can still do the fight live, but I think we'll end it there. GG's, guys. Congratulations to Oak. And thank you everybody who participated. Thank you to Sava for joining me in the commentary chat. That was really nice to have you here. And you're always welcome to join again if you want.
Yes, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad. All right, I'll end it with that. See you guys. GG's.
See you.